So I've had several people ask how to get how to color something on a layer that is underneath the inks so that you're not coloring over the inks themselves. And so let me show you what I mean here. So if I have just a simple ink here, like I've just got something like this, we'll just kind of just do some little hashing or whatever. And then I want to come in and color this blue or whatever. I'm drawing over my inks right now. That's not super helpful, right? And so what I want to do is I want to create another layer, and then over here on the right, I want to drag this layer underneath my inks layer. And then when I color it, you'll notice that even if I color outside of the lines, because it's on a separate layer, it's coloring underneath. I can also do something like this. If I clear this, I can come in and I can make a selection like this. And then in selection, I can use my paint bucket to fill it. And then if I click this little lock on the layer here, over on the right, there's a little, it's called pixel lock. There's a lock where it's got kind of that transparency grid. And then you can lock it. And now what I can do is I can come over here and I can choose a color that's a little bit darker. Oops, I still have my thing on. Let's turn that off. And now the nice thing is I can come in and I can scribble because I will not go outside of the current pixels. And so I can tap and hold here, increase the brightness, come in and do some light stuff. So those are the basics.
This is illo time.
What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a moment and just quickly ink this drawing. So I've got this pencil sketch right here. I'm going to add a layer on top. I don't want to draw on this pencil sketch layer, so I'm going to click on this lock layer button. And then if I try to draw on that pencil sketch layer, it's going to say, it's locked, you can't do that. So I'm going to grab these inks, and I'm going to go pretty fast with this, so this isn't going to necessarily be really good inking, but it'll get the job done of what we're talking about here. And let's just have some eyelashes down at the bottom. All right, not great inks. I'm going to use a guide here just because I'm trying to go fast. So let's go whoosh. We'll make a smaller one. Okay, I can take my guide off, fill that in. Then I can come in and I can give myself just a little bit of a wiggly edge here because I like a little bit of that in my inks. I'll do the rest in color here in a minute. Okay, so now we've got that. Now, I'm going to come underneath this. So I create a new layer. I take this layer, I put it underneath my ink layer. I can lock my inks now. So let's lock it. And underneath here, now I can come in and I can color underneath this. So I'm going to grab my guide here and let's do like a purple iris. I always like purple irises. Go like that. That's a little bit too big, so let's dial it in just a touch here. Okay, now you'll notice that anything that I color is going underneath the layer. And if I want to put something on top of the inks layer, like for example, I wanted to come in and add some highlights, I can come in and I can draw over the top here. And you can even come in and lower the opacity a little bit if you want. Or you can do blending. So we can do like overlay, something like that. Okay, now that I have this, I can pixel lock that, and now I can scribble a bit. So I'm going to grab this, and let's just kind of give ourselves some some different colors here. So kind of do that. And then I'm going to mix in some blues. Something like this. Okay, now that I've got that, I can create another one underneath that. And I can just draw a little selection like so. And then I can choose a color that I want to fill it with. I like this purple, but I'm going to go super light. Okay, I can fill it with that. And then if I don't like that, I can still come in and do an HSL adjustment, hue, saturation, and lightness. And so I can come in here and I can kind of brighten that up. Again, pixel lock. This time though, I'm going to make a duplicate layer and I'm going to go HSL and I'm going to make it totally bright. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to change it to multiply. And because it's on pixel lock, if I draw black here, then only the black will show up, not the white. Okay, and so I can take that and I can lower the opacity significantly. I'm going down to about 5%. And now this becomes a bit of a shadow. I can do the same thing with a highlight. I can duplicate this layer again. And let's go HSL. We'll make it completely black. Then I'll grab that and I'll change it from the blending to screen. And now anywhere that I click and make white will become a highlight, and I can control how bright or dark that is with my opacity. And I can kind of come in and draw some of that. Let's change our background layer here so that we've got some contrast. There we go. And I can take my pixel lock off. And let's draw a little of this eye meat. Get rid of my selection. Get rid of my pencil layers. And there's all types of stuff that you can do now that we've got this going on. But that's the general idea that you can do. And so if I wanted to add to my inks, I can unlock that layer. And then I can go back to black. I can come in and I can kind of just get some line variation, some width in the lines going on there, maybe some stray points to kind of add to the fear and chaos in this eye here. Can I come out from the center as well? Maybe a couple light scribbles around the edge. Okay, and that is that. So I'd love to hear more questions that you have. I am using Autodesk Sketchbook. Probably should have said that at the beginning. And I am on an iPad Pro with a pencil, with an Apple Pencil. Anyway, so that's that's one thing that you can do there. Another thing that you can do along these lines is you can come in and you can adjust the ink layer after you're done as well. And so you can change that to be whatever. Another thing that you can do with a pixel lock is you can pixel lock this and do a color hold. And so like over here on this edge, if I want that to be like a darker value of this red, I can just come in and kind of color that. And it doesn't change where there are pixels, it just changes the color of those pixels. So lots of fun things, excuse me, lots of fun things that you can do. Check my stuff out at CoreyKerr.com, and we'll see you guys later.
This is illo Time.